Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. Welcome to the retreat. You get to see a tiny bit more of my apartment than normal because we have a cat visiting and I want him to be able to go in and out of the room. So I've made the space the perfect size for him. I see we've got a few people here. I am cross-streaming on YouTube and Twitch for the first time. I have done that with my ghost hunting company, but not here. So I'm curious to see who shows up, how it goes. We are going to be writing for the next 3 hours pretty much. But the first hour is just kicking off the event, saying hello, chatting a little bit, seeing who is joining in. If you checked the description for this event, there is a list of all the various things that are happening, and this is going all weekend. So we're just starting now, and we're going to go Saturday and Sunday, and this is sort of my triumphant return to streaming writing content, but it's not, it's a sort of triumphant return because I'm going to be away in Winnipeg for most of August, and it's not going to be possible for me to do anything at that point. But we are running a conclave right now on the Order of the Written Word Discord server, which I'm repping. Beautiful logo by Jenna Streety. If she happens to be around, probably not though, because she just had a baby. Mega congrats. Amazing. So we are kicking things off. Hello to the mother unit, our editor-in-chief at Stygian. Nice to see you. And hopefully there isn't much noise. There's been some hammering going on at our place for hours, literally. I was visiting my sister in Toronto because she went there from Winnipeg, and I was like, it's only a few hours away. I've got to go and see her and meet up with her. So I did, and it was a very sort of spontaneous zip to Toronto and back kind of trip, but I got back late. Had to go to the opening party for the Fantasia Film Festival because I've got my first media accreditation there, which is very exciting. But I went there straight from the bus, and then I got home, and then I went to a friend's studio that I hadn't seen yet, and was there till I didn't get home till 3 a.m. And I thought, well, I can nap, but you can't nap when there's hammering going on. So if I'm a little bit spacey, that is why, but I'm feeling good about this. I think it's going to be a really fun event. Very much experimental because I haven't done an actual retreat. I've done workshops, I've done isolated videos, but we're all in this tonight and all day Saturday and Sunday. Hello there. Oh, you're watching on Twitch. That's exciting to see. And hello. Hey, Lexi, it's great to see you. Yes, always way too busy, but it's good things. And Stygian Media is doing a lot more, which is a lot of fun. Hello, nice to see you. I'm going to be also dipping into Discord quickly. So if I address anyone on Discord, I'll be sure to let you know what I'm addressing, because I learned something fun and new the other week, that there are a lot of people who don't necessarily want to have Google accounts and associated with the company and connected to YouTube and everything, so they can watch, but they can't actually comment. So I am trying to make a point to also check in on my Discord family over there. So I'm going to say a good evening to Desiree, who is over there, I am well aware of. And yeah, we're just going to chat a little bit. So yes, just a lot. Anyone who hasn't said hi yet, feel free to say hello. We're 5 minutes in, so I just wanted to give people a little chance to drop by, and then I'm just going to talk about what we're going to be doing this weekend. And yeah, so right now from 6 till 7, we're going to be hanging out, welcome, a little bit of introduction. No one has to feel obligated to say anything if they don't want to divulge much about themselves or what they're working on. No need to do that. And yeah, so overview of the retreat. Sorry, I have cat hair on my face. So when you see me doing this, picking my face all the time, it's because of cats. They're everywhere. Another thing we've been doing, since we are in the middle of the summer conclave at over at the Order of the Written Word, I'm going to drop a little invite to the Discord server just in case anyone is not already on there. And just going to copy this and throw it in chat, because we are going to be back and forth between, not back and forth. I've made sure that you're not going to have to go like YouTube, Discord, YouTube, Discord. We do a chunk on YouTube, and then we sort of wrap things up on Discord each day. So join the server if you want to join the more interactive elements of this, because what's going to be happening across YouTube and Twitch is the writing sessions and also the workshops. So they'll also be super helpful if you're not a Discord user, but if you want to get involved and talk to other writers and talk about your projects and talk about what you've done at the workshop, maybe build that out more, have breaks together with people, I highly recommend it. That's going to be the full experience. And the server is just generally a great place to be. I think we're at like 750 members roughly right now, but it doesn't have that like huge server feeling. People are just, it's a community, very helpful. I absolutely love everyone on there. We've got a great mod team that keeps things non-spammy, and we've got a lot of different spaces. Like, oh my gosh, if you look across our server map, we've been making updates this year too, because we were originally hoping to have kind of a website that mimicked NaNoWriMo a little bit, because we were replacing that for people who didn't want to be a part of it. And now, I mean, you can't even be a part of it. But for a while there was just the group of us who didn't want to be a part of a company that was saying it was all right to write with AI. And we were trying to replace that experience for people who are going to miss out on it. But we have since decided that our main home is going to be Discord. So I've been building that out a lot with people's suggestions, which is a lot of fun. We've got like a creative clinic where you can have beta reading. There's a resource library, walk-in clinic, or if you just want help and support at any time, you can drop in and see if someone will be there. Anytime you want someone to body double with you, you just tag them. We've got our writing challenges. So much stuff, honestly. We also introduced multilingual spaces as well. We have a French forum as well as a Spanish forum. And if any other concentration of writers that are speaking a different language come along, we'll make a forum for that. We're very community oriented, very friendly with that. Yeah. And yeah, like NaNoWriMo, that's the thing. It really launched a lot of people, right? You look at so many authors who got their start doing that, and it really taught them how to finish a project. That's what it did for me. And because I've always written, right? But for a while, my main direction was going to be in visual art, but I was always writing at the same time. And then COVID struck actually, and I was working from home finally. So I saved time going, for the commute. I didn't have to spend an hour before work and an hour after work going to work, coming home. I didn't have to, I could do more of what I wanted on my lunch break versus okay, you got to go down to the cafeteria or go out somewhere. And there was just so much more freedom. And that's when I did NaNoWriMo for the first time. And it's also when I launched my writing channel. So everything, including my publishing house, which is now Stygian Media, everything kind of launched with that kickoff, right? And I know that I'm definitely not alone. It wasn't even that, I had an important relationship that came out of my YouTube channel and everything. So when they came out in favor of AI, which is something that I've always been really against in terms of replacing human creativity, stealing from artists, stealing from writers, wrecking the environment. You see someone like a company like NaNoWriMo come out saying, yeah, it's fine if you want to use AI. And then not only that, but associating it with people who are differently abled in that and saying that they might need that to write. I had multiple friends who have various disabilities, and they were just like, what are you talking about? And they were so offended, rightfully so. So it's really sad the direction it went in, but on the bright side, it has created this space for a lot of other communities to pop up. And while we had kind of a dream to be that replacement, we didn't have the resources to be anything huge. And I'm just happy to be one of the many places that is hosting writers who have felt kind of, unhoused from their community, which is what happened with NaNoWriMo. It left a lot of people just kind of stranded because that was their main thing. They looked forward to it every year. If you look on my channel, if you've been following me for a while, I did Preptober and NaNoWriMo content every single year. I was a municipal liaison. All of our municipal liaisons in Montreal immediately just were like, nope, we're out the second that came. So it's a lesson. People don't want AI. There are some people obviously who do, and they're just going along with it, and you'll get the snark about it and all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, human creativity is super important. And that's what events like this are about, right? It's about coming together, writing something, talking with other writers, especially because writing is often such a solitary thing, which is great. But sometimes you need to connect with other writers, and you need beta readers, and you need opinions, and you need a creative community. Creativity should have a community. Anyway, I can be on this soapbox for hours, as you can tell. But I wanted to jump into a couple of the things that I had outlined. Nothing crazy. So I'd consider that our welcome. I would love for anyone who wants to introduce themselves in the chat. I will keep chatting, but if you want to say, your name, maybe your genre, like your main genre. I know a lot of us write in a multitude of genres, and just sort of maybe say where you're from. No need to dox yourself, but give a state or province or country. That would be great, and just let us know who you are. And everyone, look out for everyone's usernames in the chat, because hopefully all of us will be together for the full weekend of the retreat this weekend. I mean, you generally know who I am, but I will just say I'm Holly Rhiannon. I'm a writer. I've been writing forever, but I've been writing, I would say, professionally since 2020. So coming up on it's been like six years, which is great. It's been a lot. It's been quite an eventful time period for me, and it just doesn't seem to slow down at all. I write, the stuff that I've put out is more like sort of paranormal fiction, witchy stuff. My debut was a witchy coming of age story called A Time When Demons. And people have told me not to caveat it, but I caveat it with, this was a NaNoWriMo project. It was my first NaNoWriMo project. It was my first full-length novel that I was able to finish, because I was someone who would just write and never I never finished a project. I would just keep coming back and rewriting, and I just could not finish, right? So my first project I finished. I told myself, I have to do this. I like writing. I think I'm decent at it, and I need to finish a project. So I drafted the entire thing during NaNoWriMo. I spent the next year, going into 2 years, editing, having my editor edit it, shout out Pamela, and just went through the whole process of self-publishing. And it wasn't meant to be perfect or crazy or like every little drop of my talent put in it. The exercise was to finish something. So I think it's a very clean, enjoyable read. It's not the peak of my ability in any way, but it's a fun read, and I do like it. And a lot of people do like it, and they tell me not to sell it short. So so that was my debut. But now I am putting a serial out on stygianmedia.ca on the blog, and it's called Mortal Things. And it's a story within the universe of my fantasy epic that I've been working on literally since I was 13 years old. So that is going to be coming out. So that's kind of what I do. My stuff tends to be like Buffy style paranormal, but I've always thought of myself as a fantasy writer, even though none of my fantasy is actually out in the world yet, but it will be. So horror, dark fiction, fantasy, paranormal, that's what I am putting out into the world. And I am coming to you from La Belle Provence, Montreal, the city that I escaped to when I got out of Winnipeg, which was great because Winnipeg is my hometown. I love the people there. Not the city for me. Too dangerous. Too dangerous, too boring. And Montreal's been great. But yeah, that is exactly it. It's, as a introvert, like, I love my alone time. It's my main favorite thing to do, even though it may not look like it because I'm out doing stuff all the time. but that's an aid of my creative projects and my creative community and trying to do things for other creatives in the world. So I do that. But as an introvert, it's very easy to just want to hide out in my little space all the time. And it's good to connect with reality on occasion and other creatives and see what people are working on. I think it's a really important thing. So I'm not seeing any intros. I'm gonna sit here and can't even see the pretty side of it here. That was I'm staring at you waiting for an intro. I know, you don't have to. But I feel like Pamela can say something because she's my mother and I can get her to go on with me on things. Thank you, Tamara. New Jersey. I didn't know you were in New Jersey. Cool. I'm curious. I'm always curious to see how far spanning our little group is. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Smoking when there's so much smoke outside already, although I don't know if it's reaching you. I've seen so many people in the States complaining about the smoke that's coming from up here. Apparently 2 days ago when I was in Toronto, we had like the worst air quality of anywhere in the world, which was crazy. I've never experienced something like that. But the wildfires, oh boy. Hello. Fiction fantasy, nice. Ottawa, yay. My bestie and roommate, she is originally from Ottawa and she's there right now visiting her mother. So I've been there a couple times. I like it. But reading. I always pause to read. I try to keep talking while I'm reading and then my brain's like, ADHD can only take you so far. But I'm glad that you're here and I'm sorry about your health issues and I hope that the recovery continues to go well. And we'll be happy to have you join whenever you're able to. And there is so much going on with this event that I'm trying to do, like so many opportunities to come and write and hang out with people that you should be able to just, do things at your own pace, drop in, drop out. And on Discord, I'm still determining, I think we'll sort of see how everyone's feeling after 3 hours on the YouTube sessions. Like, if we're up for voice chat or if everyone prefers just, typing to each other on Discord. So we'll determine that when we get there. But my aim is, even though there's a lot, I want to make this fairly low pressure, right? I want it to be enjoyable and fun and maybe kickstart some projects, help us get some words in, that sort of thing. Thank you. Yeah, my mom is our editor-in-chief for Stygian, and she is my editor, but I've also been making a point to get my writing out to other people and other editors because I keep thinking, oh, well, what if she is biased? And she wonders that too. So I think, and either way, it's always good I think this is a good bit of advice that when you're writing, it's great to have multiple people. Look, that's the joy of beta readers, right? You never know what people are going to think about your story. And the more people you do have look at it before you put it out into the world, the more you can get some sort of consensus of where things are at. But yeah, it was, I tried to have little Easter eggs and plot twists. I knew I couldn't get too crazy with the time window I was giving myself, but I did my best. Oh, I'm very happy to have you here too. Yeah, and that's the thing. NaNoWriMo was such a big thing. I knew some people who did it every year. And I remember before I started just sort of hearing about it and thinking, how do you do that? How do you write the first draft of a novel in a month? How on earth? And one of the other liaisons, Scarlett Jory, she was the main one, and she had taken over for Hendrik, who is also a lovely, lovely creative human. She kind of took me under her wing before I was also being a liaison, and she told me she gave me a lot of good advice on just getting that draft done, and that's what I needed, and I think that helped so many people so much. So yeah, I'm glad that you have found your way over here, and hopefully you can feel a little less orphaned from that and can get back into that feeling. And the great thing is we do stuff outside of November, we have our conclaves, and we still have that November challenge that I think a lot of people just look forward to. Hey, hello, another Montrealer. And originally not from Montreal. It's nice to see you, and I'm also glad that you are on the Discord server. That's awesome. Yeah, like I was saying, there's long periods, so you can go jump off, do something else, come back, and I will probably still be here. Yes, Lexi. So we used to work together. I won't do any more doxing, but we worked together, and I miss working with you so much. It was such a great team that we had going, and so much has changed. It's crazy. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna help you finish something. That's gonna be my goal. This group is gonna help you finish something. You can do it. I swear you can. Even if it's like by the end of the year. Because one of the things I want to talk about is a little bit of goal setting. But yeah, like the community is great for momentum. We're actually, I don't know if you do this, but we've been doing oh yeah, it was so fun. I would hope that you could maybe come back someday. I don't know. It's just been so crazy. It's crazy. I mean, you understand. I won't get into industry stuff, but for anyone who knows, I work in like e-commerce marketing, and with AI, again, AI has been destroying everything for everyone. I've got to say, because everyone's like, I'll just do everything with AI. It's like, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't read well. Anyway, that's another rant I can go on about forever. But yeah, the smoke has been crazy, and highly recommend getting in the server more for momentum, because I've been doing, now I miss a few of them, but we've been doing morning sprints. So if you're getting up early at all, we've been doing Monday to Friday, 8 to 9 in the morning sprints. And even on the days that I don't make it, at least sort of having that in my head has been really helping me keep stuff going. So I'm so happy to see about our group here. I think this is going to be excellent. And yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit about what people's goals are. Some notes I had about goals, other things. I said, I want to know what you're working on. I want to know your goals for the weekend, for the month, for the year. What snacks you've got set up. Yeah, see, that is the hard part. And I used to do evening sprints, but I've been trying to find the perfect time blocking system for myself. And I found that the best time for writing, as long as I can get up early enough to do yoga beforehand, which I've also been falling down on, then 8 to 9 is perfect. But that said, Desiree has been running later sprints on Discord too. So and we have the body doubling tag. So if you're on Discord, you just do like a little hashtag body doublers. I think that's the exact tag. You can, if you start typing it, like hashtag BOD, it'll pop up, and you can tag, and anyone who's online, they will get a notification that someone's looking to do some body doubling and writing sessions. So I forget whose idea that was originally, but I really like that idea, and it's been such a cool thing to implement. I'm just going to take a little dip into Discord, and I see, yes, other people are talking about the terrible air quality and sharing some memes about it. Yeah, like I've definitely seen a few memes of just like people getting mad at Canada, but we had wildfire stuff coming from the US, so it's like, guys, I mean, I think lots of countries are messing up their nature. So the dark laughs. There we go. There's another intro. And yes, if anyone's ever looking for an editor, Pamela is excellent. We actually just put services up on the Stygian site, and the editing services start with a free, I think it's 30-minute consult. 30-minute? I think it's 30-minute. So if you're curious, you can always just book a free consult and chat a little bit and talk about your project and see if there's an option for you that would work, because having a good editor is so important. But yeah, and here I am promoting when you're trying to find more time to write. But it's hard to have multiple passions, right? It really is. I find that's the case. all the time. Actually, I'm going to drop the little services thing in here, not to flog that at all, but just so anyone who might be looking for anything, this is an option. It's an option. We're out there. We're doing things. We're by authors, for authors, and pretty chill, easy to work with, not crazy expensive, and work very closely with people. And yeah, also if you're looking for publishing opportunities, we're taking submissions. So, but we are horror now, so it would have to be dark fiction horror. We're more gothic horror than like jump scare horror, but we get a variety of stuff out in our zine, which I unfortunately just put in the other room, and I should have kept in here to show you, but I'll bring it out in between sessions. Just a little more about how this is going to work. And also for anyone who is just joining, because I know people are coming in and out, this first hour until 7 is just hanging out. We're just introing the event. I'm talking, we're saying hello to each other, talking about what we're going to be writing and all of that stuff. So I'm just kind of blabbing right now. Then next up, we are going to do an hour of writing. It's our opening writing sprint. It's just going to be like relaxed community writing session to settle into the atmosphere together and start getting those wheels turning. And I think what I'm going to do for that one, because it's only an hour, we're going to do probably 2 longer sessions. So a 30-minute and then another 30-minute, and just split it in half. Another thing with this is there might be some time going over a little bit, depending on how things are. I have a pretty tight block on the website, but it's going to be a little bit flexible because I am going to need to allow time for discussion in between sprints. Also, I'm going to put up a screen for a break in between the different activities, because I'm not going to just go from 6 until 9 sitting here. I'm going to need to get up and stretch my legs for a second in between them. So it is going to be a little more flexible than is on this schedule specifically. If anyone wants to see the schedule and hasn't yet, I am also linking that, so you can check it out. And yeah, so we're going to, once this wraps up, we're going to do opening sprints, then a workshop that is called Casting the Cards. And I'm nervous and excited to share this with you because I've been into workshops recently, the past couple of years, because the Scriven Festival, the Pen and Stationery Festival in Montreal, incidentally run by Scarlett, my old NaNoWriMo mentor, they do workshops. And so she asked if I wanted to do workshops. And I thought, well, yeah, why not? And I kind of just jumped into it. And it was a lot of fun. It's nerve-wracking. I've always been terrified of public speaking. It's very different from being on YouTube. So I've been doing some in-person workshops, and it's really rewarding and fun, but I'm just basically testing out a whole bunch of different concepts right now until I can boil them down into something that is really solid that I could make into maybe a proper little course or something like that. But it's been fun experimenting, and I'll tell you more about that at 8 o'clock when we get into it, but it is listed in the description, my little blurb about it. We're basically going to do a 3-part workshop that ties in together, and it's going to be utilizing tarot cards. You don't have to have them. I have a website that I'm going to recommend for you to draw cards, so you don't have to have your own deck. And it's going to be sort of tarot archetypes and character building, using that as a tool, because that's something I have found to be really interesting. I know a few people who use it, and I've never used it as much as I would like to. So we're all going to experience this together and go through it. One of the things that I'm probably going to work on a little bit between days, so like tomorrow, I'm going to create a folder or some sort of shared document where we can track progress, and also where I can write down what we did the day before in case anyone joins tomorrow. Like, say you can't be here for the actual workshop tonight and you really want to do it, I'm going to have a document that will tell you what we did. And well, I mean, you can look back on the stream, but I'm going to have a little document to track things. I just haven't figured out how I want to do it yet, but I am going to make a place for that. And it'll also be just a fun place for you to share your work with everyone else, especially if you don't want to be in Discord. Because I'm hoping that in Discord, people will discuss what they're working on and how they're building their character think on that character so that they can come to the next session with even more built out. This isn't the type of workshop where I'm going to limit you from what you can do in your off time. So what we do today, you can keep building on that if you want up until the next workshop tomorrow, so that you can bring this character to the next step of it. And I'm going to reveal the little through line when we get going, but I think it'll be fun, and I'm really curious to see how it turns out. So that will be the last thing we do on YouTube and Twitch today. But then at 9, we switch over to Discord, and we're going to be in the Conclave chat there, and we're going to do Campfire Cafe, just some more chatting, maybe share books, music, discuss your project, low pressure socializing, talk about what you did in the workshop. And then we do a final 1-hour sprinting session from 10 until 11, which I'm calling candlelight sprints. So late night co-writing for night owls and weekend gremlins, which I think will be fun. And we start bright and early at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow with morning tea and goal setting. And I mean, this is something I would love to do in person some year, but for now we're starting online because I think that makes the most sense. It's the most accessible for everyone. And yeah, we'll just see where it goes. Maybe I'll do seasonal retreats every season, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I'll be looking forward to feedback that everyone has. I might make also a little landing page for that on my website where people can do feedback. So look for that tomorrow, and I will probably also drop it in Discord and in the comments on this video when it's wrapped and it's up on my channel. So you will be able to find documentation, any folders, stuff like that on my website in a little bit. Alrighty. So got some more people coming in and going out. If you haven't said hi yet, feel free to say hi. We do not bite. We're just kicking off our event here right now. Yeah, I would love to hear what everyone's goals are. Let's just start with for this weekend. What are you all hoping to get out of this workshop? What are you thinking? Have you looked at the schedule? Do you know what's in store? Goals, what you're most excited about? I would love to hear about that. And while you type, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be working on and my goals. So feel free to share in the chat. And yeah, so I am supposed to be finishing Mortal Things, but the thing is, I have a pretty long timeline to get it done because it is coming out in serialized format. I have put out 3 chapters so far, and I'm also doing the illustration for each chapter, which has been a project. But as someone who's also a visual artist, I was like, come on, just do it. Just do it. So it's been fun getting back into that, but also a little bit stressful. But the main thing is there are 13 chapters in total, and then an epilogue, and coming out monthly. I still have like nearly a year of chapters that are, well, I don't have nearly a year. I have nearly a year till it all wraps, and I only have like 3 chapters left to write, so I've got a bit of time. And with that, I've been getting drawn back into my fantasy novel. I started itching to write it. I realized I hadn't touched it in an entire year, which is good. Letting it rest is good. And I've been listening to it on like a read aloud app, so it's read back to me, and I'm really liking it and wanting to work on it. I've also been listening to more like critique YouTubers, which I used to do a lot, and I haven't done it in a long time, like Crimson Rogue. I know some people absolutely hate him because of what he does, but he pushes me in a good way, because writing fantasy, when you hear someone's novel getting absolutely obliterated and this is not something I would ever do to someone, I think you can be more constructive, but it helps me listening to someone else's fantasy novel being obliterated, and then I tell myself like, oh my gosh, don't fall into that trap, don't fall into that trap, because, you know, honestly, his critiques tend to be right, but it's scary. My goal in life is to never be on his channel. So yeah, that said, I've been delving back into the Hidden Kingdom from the Centera series for a little bit the past week, I guess, and I am probably going to keep doing a little bit of that. I need to get my footing. having not touched it in a year, and I was kind of in the process of doing some stuff with plot holes. I had also endeavored on a major change because I originally was writing this book as a lot of different POVs. And I realized I don't want to do that because it started getting really messy. I do have 3 major main characters, but instead of going back and forth between the POVs throughout the entire novel, I am doing a different POV in each novel. So I'm starting off with one character and then the next and then the third in an order that makes sense. But to do that, there's a lot of stuff that I had to cut and put in a document, like put it aside in a document because I don't want it gone. I just have to save it for other books now, and then I have to rewrite and I have to think more about that solo point of view, which it's been an interesting exercise, and I think it was definitely the right decision because it's a cleaner book now, but oh my gosh, it is a project. And getting back into that when you started a year ago and didn't finish and got like 9 chapters in, I think, then it's like, oh my gosh, where was I? And I have so many documents, not only fantasy, but fantasy I've been working on for a long time. I'm sure you can understand, right? So I'm just gonna look at your comments now. Okay, this is awesome. All right, yeah. But like researching and planning is so important, right? That's what I was just sort of like touching on because especially with fantasy, there's so much that you want to put into that world building. So the more research and planning you do, the better, really. And it's just going to back up the writing so much, right? So that is super exciting, though. The query process is quite the process, but I like it, and I think it's really important because even when you get rejections, a lot of the time, well, not a lot of the time, sometimes you will get something that's constructive and it just helps on your whole path, right? And then obviously, if you don't get a rejection, amazing. Like it's the best thing ever. Fantasy duology, awesome. Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing, you can work on multiple things throughout. I might switch between Mortal Things and Hidden Kingdom. I'm not sure yet. But short fiction is I'm gonna keep like harping on things that are good and things that are important because I feel like I've learned a lot with my writing just in the past couple years. With the zine especially, I've been forcing myself to learn how to write short fiction because I'm not by default good at it. And I think I mean, tell me if I'm alone or not, but I think that people who are fantasy writers, we tend to be in it for the long form. And it's really hard to cut back all that detail and make something more concise and bite-sized. And I've been feeling really happy anytime I can succeed and do that. Like the zine, the limit is 2,500 words, which is it's hard. It's really hard. I started this piece for the last one that we did, and I had it like outlined with specific like word counts for each segment, and I just went into it and just like went nuts in every single segment, and then just had to cut so much of it. And I think I'm going to go back and turn it into a longer story because I liked it and I liked the concept. But yeah, the short story version was way cut, but it's good. It's good to be able to find the heart of what you're writing, like the core, the most important things that you actually need to get across. As much as flowery writing is really great and a super talent to be able to do properly, it is also like such a insane talent to be able to cut and make it still read well. Oh yes, thank you. Thank you for doing my editing. Yeah, the scripting is fun. I won't say too much about it, but for anyone who doesn't know, brief little run through, and actually some people might know the Stygian Society and not really what has happened with us, but we started off as a press, the Stygian Society, and our first book was actually all author tubers, which was really fun. It was a really fun way to launch, and everyone who was a part of it was so cool and talented. And I wound up being able to visit most of them and meet them all, which was really great. But we started off as this by authors for authors press, art for art's sake, where, you know, anti-AI, no AI, but also like trying to bring back a lot of artistry, a lot of community, and also not measuring people's like social media following and stuff like that, because so many publishers now are looking at that. And I get it. It's really helpful, but we're looking 100% at talent. Like anytime we get a submission, we don't look up that person's name until we've read the submission and made a decision on it. And then we look them up after. And, you know, sometimes it's a fun surprise, like, oh, hey, this author is like pretty well known in their genre and stuff. And that's just, it's nice. But a lot of the time they're not. And then we want to be able to give them a chance. So we started with that. I was also running a YouTube channel called Haunted Montreal at the time. And it was stories about Montreal being haunted, adapted from the Haunted Montreal tourism blog. And so eventually, like, it got to a point where I was doing too much, and I still am, but I needed to merge it at the very least. So I merged the two together and made it just all horror, Canadian horror, switched to just Canadians. And yeah, it's been really, really cool. And we have a show coming out that's going to be a little different. It's a proper, like, scripted show with a production team, not just, you know, the classic YouTube sitting in front of the camera talking. I'm trying to get into more real film, and it's a sort of like What We Do in the Shadows-esque story, and it's going to be funny and poignant, and I'm really excited for it, and I can't wait to see what your script is like. I think it's going to be great, and the middle years novel is also great. So if anyone has kids, watch for Pamela's stuff. She's actually going to have a pretty cool announcement within the next few months in that genre, so that'll be something cool to follow. But yeah, multiple projects. Yes and no. For me, I need so many different things going on because ADHD brain, I need that. I need to bounce around. Otherwise, nothing will get done. So the only way for me to get something done is to have like 10 projects on the go at once. And I know I'm not alone in that. I've seen that from other friends too. Yeah, I'm just going to take a look in our Discord chat for a second. I wish I could also bring in the Discord chat on here. That would be really nice, but I'll have to just, you know, do very brief little check-ins. Oh yeah, so I'm just checking out. Desiree is one of our awesome members in the Discord server. She's saying she has loose plans because, oh yeah, what I'm up to in my work in progress doesn't relate to making new characters, but I really want to incorporate the cumulative workshops. Yeah, I should speak to that actually. So making the new characters, don't worry about having to do anything with them. The point is just to do the exercise, and hopefully it helps give you some concepts for the future when you're doing character work. So it's not a character that you really have to use for anything other than this workshop. But if you happen to create a character during this workshop that you really like and you want to incorporate into something, that would be awesome. And I would love to hear about that as it progresses. Like if you're incorporating them into an existing story or something new, I think that would be really cool. And it's something that I would like to have in my longer term version of this workshop when it is something bigger, because I like the idea and I want to make it into something big that has a lot more elements to it, that you can really get a fully fleshed out character that you will want to use in your writing, because characters are a big thing with me. I'm really into character. I'm really into dialogue. I mean, world building's great too, but I'm character focused. It's my favorite thing. But yeah, and I see Michelle is also commenting about revising at least one chapter, getting into more of a routine, and also having characters pretty fleshed out, but excited for the workshops. Yeah, just come into it open and see what you wind up coming out of it with. And you never know. You might make a character that you fall in love with and you need to do something with them. And then I will be guilty of making you have more projects. Apologies in advance if that happens. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I always hope that by having these retreats or conclaves in the server, we do conclaves. We actually just sort of updated how we do it. It used to just be a month-long conclave in July and a month-long conclave in, now I'm blanking out, February, March. spring and summer conclave. But now I'm trying to make conclaves like anyone can jump in and start a challenge at any point, because you never know when someone's just going to need that boost. And it might even be, all right, I'm setting a 1-week challenge for myself. If anyone else wants to join in, please do. Or a 24-hour challenge. Like, I'm going to do the Stephen King writing challenge for 24 hours. Someone join me. And it's a great place to be able to do that. So conclaves are what we call our various challenges, but they're a great point to use to get back into a routine, because it's so easy to fall out of a routine with everything else going on in life, right? It's very difficult. I've also got my order sticker on my water bottle here, and my friend's excellent publication, Forget the Box. Shout out to Forget the Box. If you're in Montreal, check it out. Alrighty, so we're at 6:46 already. I'm gonna have, by the end of this, I'm going to have what my dad calls convention voice, or my mom might have coined it. Might have been her. You can let me know if you did, Mom. My dad is a comic colorist and writer, and so I grew up going to Comic Cons with him. And of course, when you're at Comic Con, you're talking a lot because people are coming up to your table. It's like 3 days long, generally 2-3 days, full days. And then on top of that, you go to all of the like after hours events after. So he would be talking pretty much nonstop from like 8 in the morning until like 2 in the morning, sleep, and then get back at it. So by the time a convention was done, we'd get home, and the next day his voice was like 3 octaves lower than it usually was. So I feel like that's going to be me at the end of this. But yeah, I'm really going to make sure. So I'm looking at the time right now, and I think what I'm probably going to do for this little kickoff, which went by surprisingly fast, we're going to wrap this up at 6:55. And I'm just going to throw a screen up saying that, we'll be right back. And that'll give everyone a chance to get a little bit of a break in, and, grab some water, grab some tea, grab a snack, get anything together that you need just over about, 5 minutes, do a little bathroom break if you like, and then we will come back. So I will aim to start right at 7. That's the goal. I have not yet had dinner, but I'm not feeling dinnery. I ate like a lot earlier, so I'll probably just be going with some little snacks and stuff. And yeah, sort of grabbing them between our breaks. So yeah, moving or in some other way collapsing everything I know. That is life. I find there are some excellent quotes that I've seen about like trying to be creative and how difficult that can be sometimes, when that's all we want to do, right? Okay, yeah, I thought it might have been convention voice. Yeah, Dad's got the convention voice. I had a friend who really liked his convention voice, a friend who was crazy. He was friends with Jeffree Star. Like, just picture the craziness that would be in that community. And he would like to call from LA and have phone calls with my dad when he had convention voice. And I was like, you're ridiculous. It was very hilarious. But let's see. What am I looking at? Desiree, I love character-driven work. Characterization is the heart of the story to me when I'm reading. I'll easily forgive a terrible plot if the story has characters I can love and dig into. Yeah, I don't know. Characters are just, maybe it just seems like an obvious thing to say, but maybe not, because I know people can be like very, very plot driven, and it's all important, but a character, you're really going to just relate to them, right? And you want readers to be able to relate to them. So hopefully one of the tools with this tarot workshop is going to help with a little of that. If you've watched stuff on my channel before, I have done a lot of work with archetypes, which I know some people really don't like them because they can seem too formulaic, and they definitely are formulaic, but it's sort of what you do with that foundation, because as formulaic as they are formulas that apply to a lot of people in the world and a lot of stories that have been successful, and in just, building that empathy with the reader. And that is funny. So in the Discord chat, Desiree was just saying, it's so funny / cute to me as someone in the US hearing mom instead of mom said in a North American accent. I guess like mom. Yeah, I don't know. Because in the UK they write it MUM, and I do that sometimes. But I usually call my mom mother unit, my dad father unit. But it's always funny to hear if someone hears an accent, because I've always felt like, but maybe that's how it is for everyone, no matter what your accent is. You just obviously feel like you don't have one. But I feel like in Winnipeg, where I'm from, also in San Diego, there's a term for it, like the radio accent that's supposed to be very just non-accented. And I think it's the most basic, boring one out there. I wish I had a more exciting accent. But at least I think I'm not full like Trailer Park Boys Canadian, so that's something. I'm pretty sure I don't say a boot or any of the classic hallmarks. Gosh. All right. Okay, so anyone who, let's see, what else do we want to do on this in the last few minutes of our kickoff? I think we kind of covered everything. We got our intros. I hope that everyone is going to be here for the sprints. Like I said, for anyone who's just showing up or coming back, we're going to go on a little break, and then we're going to do an hour worth of sprints. We're going to do 2 half-hour sessions to really just let us sink into it. I've got timers. I've got music. It is royalty free, but still nice. I think that was my goal. I was hunting for music today so that it's all right. In the past, sometimes I've got music that sounds all right at first, and then suddenly there's some like big crashing thing in the middle of it, like piano gets way too loud. And I tried to go through all of them and make sure that they're all just nice and moody and retreating. So hopefully I'm successful at that. Yeah, that is really true. That is absolutely 100% true. I think so. Yeah. Like if you have a totally flat character and a ton of plot stuff happening to them, the reader's not really going to care. Like, okay, there's all these things happening, but this person is a piece of cardboard. Like, I'm not interested. But yeah, there have been, what was that one book? I read it because you wanted me to, Mom. The one that takes place just in 24 hours. And I felt like that one was pretty character rich. And especially when you have something that's just in that small time span, you have to do a lot with your character, I think. Oh yeah, Midwest radio announcer. Yeah, like, because I grew up hearing a lot of that, thinking that's just like this basic, not interesting accent. But every accent is basic, I'm sure, to the people who have it, because it's what they're used to, obviously. All right, so we're coming up at 6:55. I am going to throw up a little be right back screen, and I'm going to make a comment so that anyone who is coming in while I am off screen knows that I will be back. And everyone, get ready, get together anything you need, grab your water, go to the bathroom, get your, I don't know, notebooks, pencils, anything you need if you're writing not on the computer. Set up your files so that when I come back, we can jump right into writing, which is what we are here to do. And we'll have a little break between the 2 sprints just to check in and see how everyone's doing. Maybe say what you got done in the first sprint. I know a lot of people do word counting during sprints. I am a word counter. I like it. I find it rewarding. If you don't want to do word counting, don't feel like you have to. You can just report back and say, I got this part done that I really wanted, or, oh, I didn't get any writing done. I just wound up getting into a research pit and I had to pull myself up out of it. That is fine too. Usually I find the first sprint takes a little bit of, delving into. Before I put the screen up, Desiree just said, absolutely agree with Pam's comment about being able to create an awesome story with great characters and a very simple plot, but not the reverse. Yeah. Oh yeah, Saturday by Ian McEwan. That was a very good one. Highly recommend. Alrighty, so I will be right back, and I hope I will see you all when I return in 5 minutes, and then we are going to be writing. And thank you for joining for the kickoff, in which I blather for an entire hour. I did it. It was a success. See you soon. I'm back. I realized that I didn't leave at exactly 5 to 7, so I needed a couple extra minutes. I was eating cracker and then it was like, oh, it's 7. But I am back. I see that people are still here. Thank you. That is wonderful. The mother unit will be back as well, but yeah, it was a very short break. Alrighty, so I am going to. Oh, all right. I had loaded my timers in here, but then they went away. So you're gonna see it pop up for a second. Then I'm gonna pause it. All right. So I'm giving us a lovely forest timer today, as fits a retreat. If you want to know who did the original video for it, it is linked in the description, of course. And I'm going to be switching up the music, because what I used to do for these timers was I had the music like baked into the timer, which I felt got kind of repetitive because every time the like 30-minute or the 15-minute would come on, it was the same music, right? So sometimes that's a good thing because you know what point you're at in the sprint. I know Kasha on Discord, she and I both got into a habit of knowing exactly when it was like 2 minutes left. So that's okay, but I like switching it up a bit more. It just helps with more creativity. So I have a mix of music that's kind of like what I have playing in the background right now, the sort of like moody little piano. It sounds like Philip Glass a lot, but it's not, which is confusing to me. And then I also have like a little bit of Celtic stuff because I like that. And I will try to make sure I don't do anything that's too off kilter and messes with your being in the zone. All right. So with that, I am going to switch our music and all right, get ready to sprint here. And we're just going to jump right in to our first 30-minute sprint. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I will talk to you all in half an hour. Alrighty. We have mums and dads ruining everything. For me, I just had a bus company ruin everything. I'm trying not to let it bug me. That's what I get for checking my mail while I was supposed to be writing. How'd everyone do? Let me know how your writing went. If you're counting words, how many words did you get? If not, what were the vibes? How did things go? What did you get done in that half hour or less, depending on when you hopped in? Let me know. I did about 350 words about that, but it wasn't in my story, unfortunately. It was just some work for this workshop, but I often sacrifice my first sprint. Like, it happens almost every time. I have to do the like avoidant thing, and then the next time I'm in it, and then I can't get out of it. Then I lock in. Yeah, it has. It's been very tornado life this past year. It's strange because I usually do like a yearly. Speaking of tarot, I usually do a yearly tarot read, and this one, oh God, I can't remember all of it, but I know that part of it, just in general, was also just with the year we had last, and then what's coming up this year. It was supposed to be sort of like everything got exploded last year, and now it's supposed to be putting itself back together. And I guess that's kind of happening, but there's so much work that needs to be done. It's so busy and it's so crazy that it's hard for me to tell these days what year is more stressful than another year, because they're all just stressful in different ways. We do have an hour, but it's split into 2 sessions because it's sprints. So we write for half an hour, and then we check in and we talk, and then we write for another half an hour and we check in, and then we take a break, and then we come back for the workshop. It's go, go, go. Welcome to anyone who's just joining, by the way. I see we have a few more people coming in. This is good, though. I like that. Historical cookbook. My mom has a close friend, my aunt, not like birth aunt, but my Auntie Marjorie, who does historic cooking and like baking. She was a librarian at Oxford and like colleges around there, and very, very interesting stuff that she does and job that she's had. Oh my gosh. But that's what it immediately made me think of. Yeah, 2 little sessions. Although they're kind of big, because usually I do 15-minute ones, but I thought since this is only an hour of writing, I wanted to give everyone enough time to get into it. Because usually when I do 2 hours, we do an hour of 15 minutes, so like 4 or 15 minutes, and then the 2 half-hour. Max Miller, I'm not sure. I would have to look that person up. I have seen, maybe I'm thinking of the same person. There's a guy whose channel is called like Cooking History or something like that, and that one's cool. He does a lot of like Roman stuff. But yeah, Marjorie, she does like very man, I don't know. Mom, you should explain it. I should look it up. She had a little book about it and everything too. It's very cool. She does these old recipes, sort of medieval recipes and things like that. They're from all over the place, and some of them are really, really wild. And she would do events at the college about them too. Really cool. Yeah, I like that channel. He pops up, his shorts pop up for me every once in a while, and I always watch them. I love that kind of thing. Yeah, I'll have to, I wonder if I can look it up without, just give her a little plug, because why not? Yeah, here we go. Sweet Slices of History, Baking and Cakes. Anyone who is interested in historic baking, that is definitely the book for you. Very cool. Yeah, so recreation of sweet dishes at events. Yeah, so they were all for events, and eventually it came out as a book, which is really awesome. And she's a lovely human too. All right. right. Just dipping into Discord for a second. We were some of the Montrealers were talking about how our REM are sort of like, I don't know what it's supposed to be, like it's not like light rail. It's kind of like that. It's a new train system that we have. They were saying how it's cursed, and it literally is, though, because Haunted Montreal has been doing articles about the actual terrible things that they did to get this set up, like burial grounds being disturbed and things like that. It's like, well, you can't expect things to run well when that's its history. So there's a whole 3-part article thing about it. But I think that's of more local interest, not as much international. Though Montreal's historic and haunted, and that is a very interesting thing. So yeah, so we heard about some vibes. How's everyone else's experience with our first sprint? Let's see. Oh, we're already at 7:42. I think we're going to have to do a 15-minute one to wrap this if we want to stay on track. I have not done sprinting in a while, so other than on Discord in the chat, which is a lot more chill. So I'm going to give this a couple more minutes, and then we're going to do a 15-minute. Don't worry, though, there is more writing on Discord, and there's more writing tomorrow and on Sunday, and we'll be writing as part of the workshop, so it's all right. We'll figure it out, and I will be better with my timing tomorrow and Sunday for sure. Yeah, Mom, sorry, you can't drop links. Only I can drop links. I have the power. It's just a rule to avoid spam, but I did drop the link, so anyone who wants to check it out, you can see it at the Indigo link. Sweet Slices of History, you can find it other places too. So, alrighty, I am going to throw in our 15-minute timer so that we don't waste any more time here and we can all do our writing. Sorry that it won't be another half hour, but we have a schedule to keep. Got to stay on schedule. Yeah, Montreal is very cursed. It's a very cursed and very haunted city. That's why I love living here. Alrighty then. Yeah, if everyone's ready to get started again, hello to anyone who's just joining. Again, I see fluctuating numbers, so I want to say hello so I don't miss anyone. We are doing a 15-minute sprint. This is part of a ongoing retreat that's going all weekend. So this is our final one for this session. And then we're going to do a workshop, and then we're going to move over to Discord. So I will drop the Discord link in the chat again if you have not joined, so you can join us there after, and that will be a little more interactive. Everyone else will be able to chat more like one-on-one versus the setup for YouTube and Twitch. Alrighty, so I will mute myself and start our timer, and we are going to do a little 15-minute sprint. So happy writing. right. That was a fast little 15 minutes. And yeah, that is the problem. Like, doing these online is more accessible, but I think it also gives more opportunity for interruptions because you're not locked into an actual retreat with people. But it's the way it goes. And at least you got 107. That's pretty good. And plenty more time. We got so much time. So much time. And this song is a little more epic than I expected. Yeah, a little more epic. I might skip that one next time. When I hit it, it was just like, boom. I'm like, whoa, okay. And thank you. Yes, I was switching between sort of moody piano and medieval, which is some writing music that I really like. My gosh, I think you know this, but I have a huge writing playlist, but I wouldn't be able to play it on here because of the copyright. So I didn't really get any words in. I knew that was probably not going to happen just because when you're hosting something, there's that extra bit of pressure. So I was kind of messing around with the workshop again and what I was going to, like, my little notes on it and stuff like that. So it's fine. I'm probably going to get my actual words in during the candlelight sprints on Discord later. That is my plan. I'm also just like, I'm tapped out today after the past 2 days I had. It's the end of the week, but it feels like a very busy Monday because it feels like I already kind of had a weekend, even though I wasn't. I was in Toronto and then also working at the same time. So it was a whole thing. And then, yeah, got to bed at like 3 a.m. and then there was hammering for like 4 hours today. 4 hours. I don't understand. Anyway, so it's a punchy Friday, but when we wrap things up at 11, I'm gonna go to sleep immediately, and tomorrow I'll be a lot more alive. Just hopped up on energy drinks. Yes, Friday indeed. How did everyone else do? I know it was a shorter one than I promised, but I wasn't keeping track of time properly. So let me know. It is 8, so we technically should be starting the workshop right now, but I'm not super worried about that because things are going to be a little more relaxed when we get to Discord. So if we go under or over a tiny bit, it's going to be fine, and hopefully that's all right for everyone joining. And no, they should not. They absolutely should not. Oh no, that's no good. Do you have water? I know that doesn't necessarily help. You need to not be looking at screens probably, but I hope it can clear out. Do you have ibuprofen? A cold cloth, perhaps? I know that can help sometimes. We want to develop stories, not migraines. Stupid migraines. I used to get headaches all the time, so I feel your pain. I was very lucky because mine were mostly, I think, attributed to the screen time and not having like yellow lenses, and this fixed a lot. But I know that if you're getting like proper migraines, that's just unavoidable. I hope it works though, and that you can stay with us tonight. But if you have to go crash, lie down, anything like that, definitely take care of yourself, and we hope I am sure hope that you will be able to come back. Oh, awesome. That's great. I hope you enjoy it, and also thank you. It's great to see you. Okay, I am going to put up our little Be Right Back screen. I'm going to get some more water, take a breather. I have a ring light on, which is making my eyes hurt a little bit. I try to ignore it, but after a while it starts getting to you. So I might turn it down a level when I come back. And yeah, so when we come back, we will be doing our workshop. I'm going to give you the link for the tarot app if you don't have your own tarot cards right now. So you can take a look at that and see how it works and stuff if you have a minute. And yeah, with that, I will see you in 5-ish minutes. I think I did 5 last time, so I'm going to do 5 this time. And yeah, I'll be right back. And I'm looking forward to doing this workshop and seeing what you all think about it. So see you soon. Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I went and inhaled some crackers and chickpea salad. It was excellent. I've been living on it. Oh, gonna block my mom out because I doubt she wants to be on camera. I'm blocking you out so you're not on camera. It would have been stealthy, except you said that. I have to leave the door open a crack for the cat. All right, so we're going to be getting into the workshop. I'm going to give people a couple minutes to come back to make sure that we are all here. I see we've got 8 people online, but I don't know if everyone is actually at their desk, seating place, etc. And I want to make sure that you get in on the beginning of this. So what I'm going to do, I mentioned that I was going to build up some sort of little resource for this workshop, and I've started a document where I'm going to put parts 1, 2, and 3, just sort of the exercises if anyone wants to do this on their own, but I might share it later, or I think I'm going to share it tomorrow, and it's going to come with the linked tarot card resource. But if you do see it before we are finished, don't man, my camera is a mess today. Don't get ahead of yourself. Wait until we all do it together. Yeah, I don't know what's with my camera. I usually have it set up really solid, but it's been mismounted. Maybe something. Actually, I remember now. I have a lot of books beside me, and bookends that aren't that strong. And I moved some books, so they were a little off kilter, and the bookend fell on like Tuesday, and it crashed into my computer. So that must be what happened. Anyway, it's fine. All right. So say hello if you are back and ready to get started. I'm going to wait maybe another minute and then launch into it, because even though it's all right to fluctuate with the times a little bit, I don't want to go too over. I'm going to take a little peek in on Discord. How are we doing there? You know what I feel like right now? I feel like, I don't know if anyone here watches Eurovision, but I have a friend who's really into it, so I watch it with him like every year. And it makes me think of whenever they go to the various different cities. We're going to check out on this city now and on this city now. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, Michelle, back and ready to go. Yes, in Discord, we had people talking about notes. There will be notes. I'm going to make sure that anyone who misses out is able to do this on their own as well. But like I said, if you are going to be at all 3 days, I recommend just doing each part on the actual day so that we can work together, even though you might want to get ahead with it. Because it's not a super complex workshop, right? It's more of like an exercise, right? In this concise format that isn't the larger version that I want to do eventually, because this is just the test round, once again, because my mother. Okay. All right, I'm going to get started because I know we have a few people and I don't want to wait too long to get back to Discord and do some community stuff. So welcome to our tarot workshop, our tarot for writers. This is the first workshop part of 3, and it's called Casting the Cards. Now, I was going to have my own actual cards here because I'm going to do a little like example, but I don't know where my tarot book is, and it's going to be easier to use the app I sent you, or the website rather. Yeah, all right. So casting the cards, this is how we're going to start, and I'm going to start by telling on myself a little bit about something I used to do. So as I was mentioning earlier, but if you weren't here, I'm kind of a character writer. It's always been my thing. I'm really fascinated with human thoughts and behavior, especially like psychopaths. Very interested in all of that. Still considering going into psychology at some point if I go back to school. So I'm very interested in that. And I've been thankful to hear pretty positive responses from my readers and editors that I tend to be good at showing who my characters are throughout a story. But that said, we all start somewhere, and I think others have started in the same place. When I was younger and I was trying to build characters, what that would actually look like was I'd open a blank doc and I'd start writing a list. I would write name, age, height, hair color, eye color, favorite food, favorite band. I would try to come up with just like the perfect massive mix of these things that I thought would make the perfect character. If you were on MySpace, it was basically like filling out one of those questionnaires you'd post specifically in hopes that your crush would read it. And I mean, if you say that wasn't, I mean, that was it. That was it. That was the point. So I would fill out this whole sheet, every field, and I'd sit back and be like, all right, I made a person, but I hadn't. I had built a form. So here's the problem with a profile. A profile is what a character has: their height, their job, the color of their eyes. None of that actually is going to tell you what they do when something goes wrong or what their like deepest desires are. And something going wrong is often a major job in a story. So tonight we're going to throw out the sort of two-dimensional concepts that I think inevitably we start thinking about with characters. And you want some of those. You want to know what your character looks like, of course, but we're going to replace this with three primary things: a want, a fear, and a flaw, because that character is going to have a lot more chance of surviving an actual scene. Quick note: Carl Jung, the psychologist, was already working with a version of this ages ago, which is to say that this is not something new, and I'm not claiming that it is at all. There's many different forms of this, but my aim this weekend is kind of to dress it up in some fun new like pants. But Jung, he spent a lot of his career on archetypes, recurring character patterns that show up across basically every culture on Earth because they map onto something true about how people actually work. Things like the hero, the trickster, the caregiver. You've met all of these people. You've probably written a few of them, whether you were naming them or not. And tarot cards work off of that, well, a similar idea: real human patterns compressed into one concept. And so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to draw three separate cards: one for your character's want, one for their fear, and one for their flaw. Whatever comes up in each pull is what you build that piece of your character from. It doesn't matter if you land on a Major Arcana card or not. What we're not doing is like picking the Emperor and saying that that's your character. Every card in the deck carries enough weight to answer whichever question you're pulling it for. So this is the part that I want to be clear on, is that the goal is not to have anyone walk away thinking that they've just sort of bought into a cliche. Say two of you both pull the Tower for your character's fear. That's the same card, same base meaning, everything collapsing at once, no warning. But what that fear actually looks like on your character comes down to what you're building around that. Maybe one of you turns it into a fear of losing control in front of people who are watching. Maybe someone else turns it into a fear of ever trusting something good because good things get ripped away without notice. Same cards, same starting point, two completely different people walking out of it, because what happens next is entirely up to you. Oh, sorry, I just looked at this. Yeah, I left it on, but it's very, very low. I'll turn it down even more and see. Sorry about that if it was bothering anyone else, because I can't hear it at all. So the last piece, and this is hopefully a fun thread that takes us through the entire weekend. Your character isn't just going to be left on the page tonight and then sort of disappear. Starting tonight, they are stepping into a haunted forest and they need to find their way out. So the forest isn't going to make it easy. That's the point. It's going to throw things at your character that they have to fight, whether that's a monster, like an actual thing that you have to physically fight, or a psychological torment. And again, that is up to you. So full disclosure, I mentioned this a little bit on and off. This is a condensed version of something I want to grow into a bigger format down the road. More obstacles, more room to dig in. But for now, you guys get to be my guinea pigs. And we're going to keep it to 3 beats: creation tonight, real test on Saturday, and then the finale on Sunday. And that's the one that decides whether your character actually can get free based off of the foundation you've built for them and the challenge that they came up against and what happens right at the end. So everything we build tonight, want, fear, flaw, is what your character leans on when the forest starts working on them. So I would say build someone worth sending in there. We're going to draw some cards. I'm going to draw first. I'm going to pull 3 cards. and just say like what I'm thinking as I do that, as an example. Not that this is super complicated or anything, but I'm just going to start us off. Now, like I said, I would normally use my deck, but I do not have the little book that pairs with it. And this is going to be a lot easier because on this site that I sent you, I'm going to link it again in case anyone needs it. You are going to get an instant bit of info about this card. So first, I am going to draw for my want. And that is going to be, so I just clicked the little tarot card and I got Queen of Cups. So we have divine feminine energy, emotions, love, compassion, healing. This is mature, nurturing, maternal energy. The Queen of Cups is a natural caregiver, considering the needs of others, including family and community, working on opening your heart and connecting with others. The divinatory meaning is a woman who is the good wife and mother, honest, devoted, and loyal. Now, if you know about tarot, and I'm not going to assume that everyone does, when you get cards like this, you can sort of look at it as a person. Like this might represent an entire person in your life, or someone who's coming into your life, or it could just represent the other meanings within it. And you have to sort of figure that out by thinking about it and thinking about what's going on in your life and where the card appears. So there's a theme of creativity, nurturing, the element of water, support, nourishment, compassion, intuition. So my character is going to have a want based around that. But I want to draw all my cards before I make a decision. And I would recommend you do the same. So for our fear, we have the Ace of Cups, which is interesting because that's love, new friendship, joy, creativity, awakening. So that's going to be something interesting to try to build a fear out of. And I'm not going to say yet how I'm going to do that. I don't know yet, but you're going to get things like that where it's not necessarily going to sound negative. Like, what are they afraid of? Especially with something like the cups. I have 2 cups that's about, bounty and nourishing. And so they want that, but they're also afraid of it. And right immediately that becomes pretty interesting, right? And so for our flaw, I'm going to draw another one here. And I have we have cups again. So this is very interesting to work with. I'm working entirely within cups, but the flaw is 8 of Cups reversed. Indicates that you may be clinging tightly to your comfort zone, even if it no longer serves your best interests. This card urges you to examine whether you are avoiding necessary growth or ignoring your true desires. It may be tempting to remain in familiar territory, but by doing so, you risk missing out on the opportunities that lie ahead. Now is the time to summon the courage to explore new horizons and embrace the unknown. So you can see that makes a whole picture and it gives you problems to solve right off the bat. And if you're having trouble with creating a character, and I know many of you are saying that you don't need any new characters right now, but this in itself, I hope you can see that creates an exercise that is going to be good for your writing because it's quite random, it's quite broad, and with what I just pulled, 3 different cards in cups, 2 of which are very positive and one that's just a little bit off, you have a lot that you have to figure out within that. So what we're going to do for the rest of this session until the last little bit is we are going to do some writing and we are going to work on these characters. So go to the Daily Tarot Draw site or get your own deck out and you're going to draw your 3 cards and you are going to start working on your character based entirely on that. You can add as much or as little as you want to start. If you want to just figure out those 3 things and how they work together, you can do that. If you want to do that as well as name the character, think of, what they look like, a bit more on their background, do just whatever you can with that time. And then we are going to work our way through the forest over the next couple days. So we're at 8:30, which is actually perfect. So I'm going to add our 30-minute timer to the stage. That is not our 30-minute, that is our 15. So I'm going to add our 30-minute timer to the stage. And I really hope that this is fun. I designed it so it would be fun. And I know that most of you are active writers. You're not beginning writers. So you can think outside of the box and you can work with this and really build something from it. and I'm really curious to see what we all come up with. So with that, let's do our tarot. Let's work on our characters. And since this isn't just a solid sprint, if you want to type in the chat a little bit, feel free. If you're on Discord, converse a little bit, because character building, sometimes a back and forth helps a little bit. And I would love to see what cards you're drawing and what you think about them. All right, let's get started. Alrighty. How did we do? I'm gonna turn this volume down just to make sure it's not too bad. I had a fun experience with that. I didn't do it myself until this time because I wanted to make a point to just do it along with everyone else, even though I had the general concept of it, obviously. So it was fun. And some of our Discord conversations were interesting to see as well, because we had some talks. I also shared the music I'm playing, by the way. If anyone likes this, then it is on the Discord server. Absolutely. Oh no. Well, I am going to be putting up a doc that has each like step of this workshop. So if you do want to jump back in and try the whole thing, you can definitely do it in your own time. And yeah, also after this, we are going to have discussions for like an hour and then do some writing. So maybe that is actually in keeping with your time zone. It might be a little bit manageable. So we still have more to do, but just over on Discord. I'll wait for everyone to sort of come in with their thoughts. So yeah, there were some interesting conversations I saw. Michelle had all these cards focused on material success and celebration of success. And they were saying, I feel like mine are similar. I'm trying to find what makes this character interesting and not just someone who gets whatever they want. Yeah, which I love seeing that because it does give a really good puzzle, right? Like with mine, you just have this character who at first glance is like, I want warmth and abundance, but I fear that as well, which can just send you on quite the interesting path, right? It makes you think of things. Because usually when we're making characters, we're making them the way we want to make them, and we don't have like these constraints. But in real life, you get a lot of constraints, right? So it will make the character more real, even if it seems less logical at the time, because people aren't necessarily logical. Kind of boring. Might actually make it more interesting to be stuck. Yeah, if you think about that, in the next workshop, when we have these things that they come up against, who knows what that's going to do to them, right? And it's just a really sort of the opposite of choose your own adventure. The adventure is kind of being chosen for you, and you have to react to it, which is good to do as an author sometimes, I believe. I'm just going to go over what I wound up doing. I made a little comment that I wound up just kind of throwing a bunch of options out there. So what I'm going to do in my own time, just pondering, or maybe in the final candlelight sprints, is build this character out more and decide which one I want to go with. So I had all these cups, you know, warmth and stuff. So my very first reaction was, this is a character, they're looking for their lost love on the other side of this forest. It's a character who's maternal, really compassionate. So I set this as like, I just assumed like masculine character, maternal, feminine energy on the other side of the forest. But he fears that he's not suited for this person because he has some sort of difficult past that would make him not worthy. As much as he's drawn to her and wants to reach her, he fears that no matter how hard he tries, and if he even gets to her, that in the end, he's going to fail her some way. And the card I had for the flaw is that just being stuck sort of in one place and not being able to move on. So maybe he's in a toxic place, something that's been a comfort zone for a long time, a cycle of judging himself, maintaining bad habits, and this is familiar territory. And as the card said, now is the time to summon the courage to explore new horizons and embrace the unknown. Time to take hold of his life, become a real man, and he's unsure if that's possible. That was just my like initial knee-jerk reaction, and then I wanted to build it out from there. I had one idea, character who wants to be a mother but terrified of being a mother because she was raised by parents who had, you know, what she saw as a lot of weaknesses. Maybe they had addiction, they have passed some of those down to her. Let's say she's working to stay away from that but's uncertain whether or not she can. During a relapse, she wanders into the forest and has to find her way out. Another one, I was trying to really sort of break my brain on this a little bit. Not that any of these are super complex, but just go out of the initial things that I was seeing in the card. Maybe a blocked artist leaves their studio in the middle of the night in search of a muse. They come across a bridge over a stream because there was mention of water in this, and they've never seen this before. So they cross it and wind up on the edge of the forest. They enter the forest feeling preternaturally drawn to it and find that they must fight their demons. the truth that avoiding growth and doing things like the hard way and waiting for the muse instead to gift them at all times is stopping them from achieving their true desires. And then the last one I wrote, I thought, let's try a different sort of, non-adult age group. My character is a teenager who has run away from home. They desire a lot from their parents, more love than they believe they're being given, but they're too young to really understand that they have a lot of love and they're just not being given everything they want, like carte blanche. Their parents are good parents, but they don't want to spoil their kid. After a fight, they leave the family home, both wanting that abundance and fearing that maybe what they have is the best they're going to get, and they enter the forest, and their flaw is really like the ignorance of youth. So those are the ones that I got out of the cups, and now I'm going to have to decide which one I kind of want to go with for the rest of this. Yes, that is the thing. There is the urge to just keep clicking, but just fight it. Go with the first ones you get. Yeah, I had fun, and I'm seeing Desiree was saying it's super interesting. Michelle enjoyed the exercise. We had more phone calls. I had phone calls too. Oh my gosh, this is the phone call night. Yeah, so okay, Desiree was asking, do we say now what we put together for the characters so far or wait for the discussion or next workshop? So if you want to let me know, we are at 7 after 9, so it might... Oh, kitty. James. Kitty we're looking after, but he's settling over there. Oh, come on, you're so cute. Show everyone. No, maybe I'll... Here. Look at this little guy. Okay. Yeah, if anyone wants to drop in the chat, I will, let's say I'll cut this off at 9:15. So we've got a little bit of time to drop anything that came up, share your cards, or like the first ideas about what you're going to do with this for your character. Desiree said that I'm paying the cat tax. I am. Always. He's just so cute. We call him Beautiful James, like the Placebo song. If anyone likes Placebo, I'm a big Placebo fan. Yeah, I'm just while you type, I will look, because I'm so uncertain of which one I want to go with for mine, but I think I might go with the blocked artist one. Either the artist or the teenager, I think, which is funny because those were my ones near the end. Like all of them could become something, right? But as I just kept working through it, I got, I think, a bit more to the heart of what I wanted to do with those initial card concepts, and they were more and more turned on their head of what the cards were saying originally. So that was kind of fun to do. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. And like I was saying earlier, I'm really looking forward to building this out more and making this into something bigger. And we get the condensed little version to test it out. And so any feedback is very interesting and appreciated. We've got Michelle and Desiree typing in the Discord chat. Yes. Beautiful James. Cutie patootie. Absolutely. What cards did you wind up getting, Mother? What did you wind up getting? What are you going with? Ooh, we have some handwritten notes in the Discord server. We have 4 of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and 9 of Cups for Want, Fear, and Flaw. Cool. And you wrote more in your doc. Excellent. Now, sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Julivor? You can correct me in the chat. Anyone who's not in Discord, definitely join. If you don't know Discord that well, if you haven't used it before, we also have in the server a little Discord instructions, and everyone is so helpful and so sweet. So you will have no problem there if you just follow the link and go in. Maybe I'll drop it again just in case, because I know we have fluctuating numbers in here. So I'm going to grab a little invite and just drop it again in case, especially because we are going to switch over there in 5 minutes. So I want to make sure anyone who wants to join can do so. So Brown Tie Stockbroker, oh, Julivor. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. I think it's going to be fun, and we can talk about it a little bit more. So, just to reiterate, come back to this, what we're doing next at 9:15 Eastern, I'm going to shut this off and I'm going to switch over to Campfire Cafe on Discord, where we're going to hang out in the conclave chat. I'm going to go off video. We're going to just type to each other and have a bit of casual time with some chatting, maybe share some stuff. I made a note about sharing favorite books and music, but I think a lot of us are already coming here from Discord, so you don't necessarily have to introduce yourself so much. Discuss our projects, what we wrote today, and a little bit about what we did just now. I think that's probably going to be the most interesting conversation topic, honestly. And then around 10, maybe a little bit later, because of the timing on this, we're going to do 1 hour of sprints before heading to bed. And then tomorrow, we are back here on YouTube at 9:30 a.m. We're going to do morning tea and goal setting. Then we're going to do a longer writing session, so a full 2 hours from 10:30 until 12:30. Then we get a creative recharge break. Hopefully everyone's on Discord at that point, so if you want to hop in, I had some suggested activities of maybe share some mood boards, music, do a little bit of journaling. If you want to walk outside, come back. Maybe if you want to read for an hour, you can be as collaborative or solitary as you want. Then we do our the second workshop from 2 to 3:30 here on YouTube. And then back to Discord for some silent writing, self-care, dinner break, community games, which are going to be really fun. So 7 p.m. tomorrow, we're doing some games, and wrap with an evening reflection. So we've got a lot going on tomorrow that I'm really looking forward to. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Just looking at Desiree's comment before I start wrapping this up. Desiree ended up with a character getting a feminine energy right now, but not quite sure what that actually means, who seems to want more than anything to nurture all those around them and or the environment in which they live/love, and who fears change is coming to that which they want to nurture, but who won't be able to do that nurturing until they focus on themselves and develop a stronger sense of themselves outside of the other people in the environment they want to nurture. It's great how this exercise throws stuff at you and you can immediately come up with something, like your brain puts all the points together, right? Michelle, oh, excellent. You have a name and an age and everything. I love it. My character is named Jace, and he's a 20-year-old farm boy who wholeheartedly believes that hard work and dedication are all he needs to succeed. When he ventures out of his rural village in search of fertile ground to start a farm of his own, he realizes he might have been a bit naive and unprepared for the outside world. He wanders into the forest and finds himself feeling lonely. After all, what's the point of success if you don't have loved ones to celebrate it with? Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Three of Cups. I love this. This is giving me life right now. This is great. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Okay. Well, we are going to move over to Discord. So for anyone watching on YouTube and Twitch, if you're not on Discord yet, please join. We're going to do a bit of just community chatting, get to know each other, share some stories, creative stuff to wrap the night up. And I really hope that we can all continue writing together and, even after this weekend. So let's look at this as a team building experience for writers. So thank you so much for joining for this first bit of the retreat. We're at almost 3.5 hours. It's been going great. I'm super inspired by all of you. And yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow morning on Discord in a minute, and I hope to see you all there. If I don't see you there, I'll see you in the morning. I'll give you one little goodbye from James, who is now flattened on the bed. He's ready for bed. I'm not quite yet. So I'll talk to you on Discord, and have a wonderful evening, whether I see you again tonight or not.